Hello everyone. In this lesson we look at properties of real numbers and simplifying algebraic expressions. To begin with, formal properties: commutative, which means order. We saw that in the last lesson. And a new one, associative, which means grouping. So just think of the root words: commutative, commute, which implies order, and associative, associate, which implies grouping. So you could read through the key concepts and the example on your own, but we have these commutative and associative properties for addition and multiplication. So not for subtraction or division. So order for associative, or order for commutative, and grouping for associative. So in the pencil problem, it says commutative, which implies order. So switch the order. Instead of 17 first and 9y second, it's 9y plus 17. And that's all there is to it, so don't make it harder than it is. Second example, pencil problem. We've got some parentheses. Parentheses indicate grouping, and it mentions associative. So grouping. And instead of grouping the R and the S together, we'll write the R separate and group the S and the T. And that would be using the associative property. To the next pencil problem. Sorry. Okay, another mention of commutative. So again, commutative means order. It's multiplication this time, but instead of C first, D second, DC. That's all there is to it. Here's another associative. And grouping. Parentheses indicate the grouping. So instead of grouping A and B together, we'll group the B and the C together. So A and in parentheses, B times C. And there's no need for a multiplication symbol really between the B and the C. You could put it there if you like, but it's not necessary because multiplication is implied. Okay, then we look at simplifying algebraic expressions. And we use these formal properties. But you'll see once we work through a few of these that we don't necessarily have to use the properties literally. If I write down 9 plus, and then, so I'm just recopying in parentheses 5x plus 7. The idea is that like terms represent the same variable raised to the same power. In our case, typically x's or y's represent like terms, and then what we call constant terms, or numbers all by themselves. So in this case, to simplify, instead of having the 5x grouped with the 7, what we could do, well, I think the easiest way is to first use the commutative property. And in an attempt to get the numbers together. So we'll switch around. So that was the commutative property. So we'll switch around the whole thing that's in parentheses. And then instead of regrouping the 5x and the 7, we'll leave the 5x and the alone and group the 7 and the 9. And now since 7 and 9 can be combined, we'll leave the 5x and combine 7 and 9 to get 16. So the first step was the commutative property, and the second step was the associative property. But as we're going to see, it's always not going to be really necessary to show those properties literally. And we talk about combining like terms here. I already mentioned it, but they have to have the same variable and the same power. And you just simply combine their coefficients and keep the common variable. Like in this example, 3z minus 12z plus 2z. Well, make sure you understand how I make my z's. My 2's are like this, and my z's look like a 2 so that's a z, and this is a 2. My z's look like 2's with lines through them. In any event, you could do this in one of two ways. I'm going to go left to right, combine the coefficients, 3 and negative 12, opposite signs, take the difference, 9, sign of the larger negative, and carry along the common variable. Recopy, plus 2z, and now we're combining a negative 9z and a positive 2z. So combine the coefficients, they are opposite signs, take the difference, 7, sign of the larger negative, and carry along the common variable. So since they were all like terms, we were able to simplify it to a single term. One thing is, though, just to point out, you can't combine letters and numbers. So 5x plus 16 is the final answer for this earlier problem. We'll see that through the rest of this lecture as well. Okay, jumping to this pencil problem. Here's what I mean by avoiding to use the... I'm going to recopy this. You could actually abuse the multiplication and, the commutative and associative properties. One thing you could do is group things together that are like. Just move them near each other. Or you could use what we refer to as an underlining method. I'm going to show both. Grouping common things together, we would have the negative 7x. I see a negative 3x that I'm going to move over with the negative 7x. Take care of the y's next, plus 14y minus 11y. And then we've got the numbers or the constant terms, negative 10 plus 16. And now we can combine these efficiently. So negative 10x, because the same sign, add the numbers, add the magnitudes, keep the sign. Here we have 14 minus 11, so 3, carry along the y. Negative 10 and positive 6 combine to give... Negative 10 and positive 16, that is, combine to give positive 6. Or, if you start with the same question that I'm recopying again, you could use a little underlining method. Just underline the x's and combine them. Just realize that the sign that precedes the number is the sign that belongs to that number. So I have a negative 7 and a negative 3 that I'm combining to give negative 10, and we carry along the x. Maybe I'll underline the y's twice. We have positive 14 minus 11, which is 3, positive, so make sure you separate the terms with a plus or minus. And we carry along the y's, and then maybe I'll circle the numbers. Negative 10 and positive 16 combined to give positive 6. Okay, so either way, I'm going to use the underlining method in the future. And then we have the distributive property. So the distributive property distributes multiplication over addition. And what you could do is this. I'm going to rewrite the question. Realize that the negative 4 is being multiplied by what's in parentheses here, so it has to be distributed. And you can use these little arrows as a guide. So negative 4 gets multiplied by 5y, and negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. We carry along the y. And then negative 4 gets multiplied by 1x. There's really a 1 understood in front of the x. And that would give us negative 4x. So that's the distributive property. And then we could use the distributive property extended to more than 2 terms. And in this special example, this pencil problem here, that I'm recopying, the negative that precedes a set of parentheses, treat it as a negative 1. Literally write the negative 1 there, and then think of distributing. Now it goes to all 3. So negative 1 times a positive 7 is negative 7. Carry along the p. Negative 1 times positive 9 is negative 9. Carry along the q. And then negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. Basically what happens when you have a negative out in front of a set of parentheses, the signs of all of the terms inside the parentheses change. So notice how the positive 7p became negative, the positive 9q became negative, and the negative 4 became positive. But good practice to show the negative 1 and the arrows for the distributive. Okay, then we combine the rules. So I have negative 3 in parentheses, 4x minus 3, close parentheses, minus 17. First thing we're always going to do is remove parentheses by the distributive property. So I'm going to treat this as a negative 3 distributed to the 4x. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. I carry along the x. Negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. The closure of the parentheses stops the distribution. And just don't forget to carry along the negative 17. And then the only thing to combine here are these constants, because there's no other x's, so the negative 12x stays, and the positive 9 and negative 17 combine to give negative 8. So the final pencil problem, couple distributions here. Let me recopy. 2 in parentheses, p minus 4, minus 3 in parentheses, p minus 3, and minus 5p. So we have the 2 to distribute to each of these terms. So 2 times, again, there's a 1 in there if you like to write it. 2 times 1 is 2, carry along the p, so 2p. 2 times negative 4, negative 8. Okay, that closure of parentheses stops the distribution of the 2. And now here's that little idea of treating this as a negative 3 times p is negative 3p, and the negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, and the closure of the parentheses stops the distribution there, and then just recopy negative 5p. So let's get all the p's. I'm just going to underline them. Positive 2, negative 3, and negative 5. So 2 minus 3 is minus 1, minus 5 is minus 6p. And then maybe double underline the constants. Negative 8 and positive 9 combined gives positive 1. And make sure you separate the terms with a sign, either plus or minus, in this case plus 1. Okay, so that's it for lesson 7.